What's the greatest Yo Mama joke of all time? I was in 7th grade at Westlake Middle, where status was everything and absolutely nothing at the same time. We had this kid, Marcus, who ruled our grade with an iron fist and razor-sharp wit. Nobody messed with Marcus. He wasn't the biggest kid, but man, could he verbally destroy you in front of everyone. His favorite target was Elliot, this quiet, bookish kid who always wore the same 3 sweaters in rotation. Elliot never fought back, just took it day after day, shrinking further into himself with each insult Marcus hurled his way. "Hey, dictionary, learn any new words today?" Marcus would call out, knocking Elliot's books from his hands. "Maybe look up loser. There's probably your picture right next to it." The cafeteria would erupt in laughter, while Elliot silently gathered his scattered papers. I laughed too, I'm ashamed to admit. Not because I thought it was funny, but because not laughing meant potentially becoming the next target. This went on for months until one unremarkable Tuesday in December. The cafeteria was serving that rectangular pizza that somehow tasted both like nothing and everything at once. Marcus was holding court at his usual table when Elliot walked by, tray in hand. "Well, if it isn't Professor Boring," Marcus called out. "Bet your mom's so dull, she makes watching paint dry seem like an action movie." Something changed in Elliot's face. Maybe it was the mention of his mom. Maybe it was just the culmination of months of torment. Whatever it was, Elliot stopped walking. The cafeteria got quiet. This wasn't part of the script. "What did you say about my mother?" Elliot asked, his voice surprisingly steady. Marcus, sensing blood in the water, stood up. "I said your mama's so boring. Libraries ask her to leave for disrupting the silence." A few nervous laughs rippled through the crowd, but Elliot didn't move. "My mother," he said slowly, setting his tray down, "died last summer. Brain cancer." The silence that followed was deafening. We all knew about Elliot's mom. How could we not? It was all the teachers talked about when they thought we couldn't hear. But in the cruel economy of middle school popularity, we'd collectively decided to ignore this inconvenient fact. Marcus faltered for a second, but recovered quickly. "Well, yo mama's so dead, Your mother," Elliot interrupted, his voice still eerily calm, "is so disappointed in who you've become that she cries herself to sleep every night wondering where she went wrong." It wasn't funny. It wasn't even really a yo mama joke in the traditional sense, but it landed like a nuclear bomb in that cafeteria. Marcus stood there, mouth opening and closing like a fish out of water. Everyone waited for his comeback, his inevitable verbal destruction of Elliot. Instead, we watched as his eyes welled up. Without a word, he turned and walked out of the cafeteria. Elliot picked up his tray and sat down at an empty table. Gradually, conversation resumed, but something fundamental had shifted. The next day, Marcus apologized to Elliot. Not publicly, in some grand gesture, but quietly, by the lockers before first period. I only saw it because I was running late. They never became friends, exactly, but Marcus never targeted Elliot again, and slowly, his reign of terror over the 7th grade dissipated.